Hi, my name is Nuala O'Connor and I want to talk to you a little bit about rebounding. You may well have a rebounder, you may well be using the rebounder, but if you're not, my job today is to encourage you to either get one and get on it or get it out of storage if you've put it away for a little while. It's not always a great thing to admit when you're a kinesiologist that you actually were in pain or you had difficulty with a stage, because normally you should be on top of these things because we kinesiologists connect in with each other. But I have to put my hands up and admit that rebounding has been my salvation. And I mean that for a number of reasons, or I can say it for a number of reasons. And the biggest one being, I don't know about you, but if you're heading into your 50s, maybe you're in your 40s, and this is something you need to listen to, but if you're like me and you're in your early 50s or you're heading into your early 50s, and you find that you've got pains, aches and pains around your body, listen to them. It's a sign that your estrogen and your progesterone levels are dropping, but it's a bigger sign that you're overstressed. You see, when the estrogen levels and the progesterone levels start to lower in your ovaries, they should actually take up, or your adrenal glands should actually take up the slack. They should start the work that the ovaries were doing, and the transition should go smoothly enough, except if you're already overstressed. Because when it comes to stress hormones, the adrenal glands will always give them off first. The priority always goes to the stress response. Now, the adrenal glands are also really important for vitamin C. I'm not sure if you're aware of that. So these are the things that can be lacking in your body if you're overstressed. It can also be why so many people are getting, say, a virus that they would think, why is that affecting me so badly? And they're getting adverse reactions purely because they're young, yes, they have a pretty good lifestyle, but they're triggering a stress response. And if they are, then their adrenal glands are already low in vitamin C. And then they'll run out of vitamin C if they're in a consistent stressed state all the time, and they won't have enough in their body to deal with things like viruses, pathogens, whatever it is, stress. I didn't realize back in my late 40s that I was stressed as what I was. And what I mean by this type of stress, I'm not just even talking about head stress. I was part of a football group, a Gaelic for Mothers and Others training group. And I put it down at the time. I strained myself just around here, around the groin area, and into the hip here, the back of the hip. And it seemed to be also coming up my upper leg. And I put it down to overtraining at the time. I thought I must have done too much at the training session. But it didn't really go away with rest and ice and heat and all the usual things. I'm not into anti-inflammatories, but I take pineapple juice and bromelain and things like that. And it wasn't really mending. And then it dawned on me, could this be connected to the menopause? And the answer is yes. So if you find that your exercise program is such that you can go for a walk and you find that you get fatigued and pained in around, especially around here, either side of the pubic bone, it's okay. There's nothing wrong with you. We have lots of muscles here that in kinesiology we associate with the circulation sex meridian and our sex hormones and our sex glands. And if our transition is happening and the estrogen levels are low and we're not having any uptake from the adrenal glands, then we will get over fatigued. But it also connects in with the gut, because the muscles in the upper leg are very much connected with the digestive system. And if they get too tight or overworked or fatigued, well, then they put pressure on the muscles up around the hip area. And one pulls the other. They also then cause pain to go down the leg and into the heel, plantar fasciitis. And sometimes it can be opposite hip to opposite heel. It's all connected to the menopause. And if you live near a kinesiologist, I would really strongly encourage you to go visit them, because it could be simple as 1 or 2 nutrients that are missing from your diet, that you're not getting enough of basically right now. It could also be a food that's annoying you, that's causing the problem. See, stress comes at us from every direction. It comes from not drinking enough water or drinking too much. It comes from too much exercise or too little. It comes from not getting enough sleep or getting too much of it. It comes from not enough nutrition in the diet. or too much of one over another. That's why sometimes the food needs to come away and a nutrition supplement needs to go in for a while, and it may change back again. I want to get back to the exercise. What got me back being able to exercise and getting my muscles toned up were a number of things. And I actually talk about them in my Rebound for Wellness program. One was starting, I knew all about rebounding, but starting back to rebounding 1 minute a day. Well, I couldn't actually do any more than that at the time. I was so fatigued in my system. So literally, this is what I was doing. Hardly lifting, I wasn't lifting my feet even off the rebounder, if you can see that there. My heel was lifting up a little bit, and then I would do a gentle bound. Now, again, I have all of this in the programs that I have on my website. But literally, that's all. 1 minute a day for a week, and building up really slowly, listening to my body. And that's what I tell you to do too. Listen to your body. So the programs that I have on my site actually come from my own experience of trying to get my body back through the menopause. And, you know, having to sit with and come to terms with the fact that all the stress that has gone on in my life that had not yet been resolved was actually causing me harm and dis-ease in my body. And I have been clawing all of that back with tapping and my diet and drinking water, all the things I talk about on my site and on these videos. I talk about them because I know they work. I talk about them because I know it's what you need right now. And I talk about them because if I can help just 1, 2, 3, whatever number of people by what I say and by the experiences I've had, then it's worth it. So what do I do on the rebounder? Well, I'm up to 20 minutes a day. I have no pain in my body. In fact, I prefer this to walking any day. I'll still go out in the daylight. I need that to feed my glands. I'll still do that sort of thing, but that's not my main exercise. Every day I'm on this rebounder. 20 minutes a day, every day. And if I miss it, I'll definitely be there the next day. If I miss it for a few days, I'll go back again. But 20 minutes a day on this, worked up from 1 minute a day right up through, and they're all in my programs. And then the second program is starting you back at 15 minutes a day, but you don't go to the second program until you've been through the first one. And you may think, this is way too easy, I can do much more than this. Please don't. Because the reason I realized I needed to do this was because these muscles in here need to be worked and brought back in to work with all the other muscles around your body. So all of these muscles need to be retuned to working better together again. And how you do it is you go gently and slowly, not even lifting your feet, because that is a whole other, that's a really deep exercise on the rebounder to work way deep in here to your internal small muscles. And you don't want to aggravate those. You want to bring them on board, and you want to do it slowly. And that's why I suggest you work at it really slowly, and that's why I have 2 programs on my website. You can buy them as a bundle, you can buy them individually and work through them gradually. The other thing is that you rub every day, either side, make fists, use the knuckles, and just literally rub up like that from the knee right up into the groin, and on the outside right up over and past the hip, right near the top of the hip. You do that every day. Make sure you get the bottom of the legs as well. And trust me, that relaxes down your quads and your hamstrings, and in turn will actually help your heel, your plantar fasciitis. That's another real strong indicator of menopause issues, menopause stress. The other thing is to make those fists again and go with the knuckles in either side of the spine on the soft part, and like you're just giving yourself a little massage. Can't get to a masseuse right now? No problemo. Just do that. Listen, there are so many tips, tools and techniques that any kinesiologist can give you right now, but there are 2 of them. And I talk about all of this and lots more in my Rebound for Wellness programs. If you haven't got a rebounder, think about getting it. If you are like me, like I have been, if you are fatigued and your muscles get tired and get sore and get achy all around your lower back and your hips and your thighs, don't let it get so bad that you'll end up having to get something replaced, or end up not being able to exercise ever again, or end up with arthritic issues. Get to a kinesiologist, but more importantly, get rebounding. It's 68% more effective than jogging or walking, and it's 87% absorbing of impact. So that's low impact, works your lymphatic system, is 68% more effective than jogging. So you're getting 68% more benefits, and it really is fun to do. And you really, if you work from the 1 minute and work your way up, you're doing a whole I can do. By the time you get to 15 minutes, you don't even realize that you've worked your way up to there. You don't even feel the pinch of being at 15 minutes. But if you started now at 15 minutes and never haven't been on before, you'll have a massive lymphatic clear out. You probably want to antagonize any of those weak muscles that I'm talking about, and you'll never want to do it again. You'll aggravate an old injury. Don't do it. Start, as I say, with 1 minute a day and work up. Go to my website, get my 2 programs, or even just one of them. Start with one and work your way up. And if you are rebounding, how are you getting on? How are you doing? If you're following my programs, how are you doing? How are you finding it? How are the videos going? And did you notice there was a particular week you needed to stay longer at that? Because that's what I encourage you to do in my programs. If you need to stay at week 5 for 5 weeks, stay there, because you have lifetime access to the programs. If you've fallen away from the practice of rebounding, and I know this video has gone on a bit, please, please, please go back. Return to the habit of rebounding, because it is your best friend, exercise-wise. 20 minutes is all you need to do a day. You can even miss the odd day. 15 minutes a day is really good, but I think 20 is better. But 15 is really good, and if you got to 15 minutes every day, you'd be doing fabulous. See, 15 minutes, you can do that. You can do 15 minutes on a rebounder. I suggest you get a bungee sprung rebounder, because they absorb even more, and it's a deeper workout, so less is more. Have a fabulous day. Thanks for watching. Please like and share this with your friends, because they might well thank you, as in it could really benefit them right now if they're going through menopause issues. I don't have any issues with my muscles and joints now around my hips. And if I do the odd day, I know I need to feed up my system with a bit better nutrition, or I've taken a little bit too much sugar the day before. That's out when you hit the menopause. The less sugar you can take, the less you antagonize the adrenal glands, and the more they work to help you transition through the menopause with ease and naturally. Think about it. Get in touch with a kinesiologist. You can equally book an online session with me if you don't live near me, or come see me here if you live near me, and I'll talk to you then. But please tell your friends about this. Talk to yourself about it as well, and get rebounding for your wellness. You'll be glad you did.